It seems like the women of the Mortal Kombat community is fed up and are finally speaking their voice. Now we're getting ready to dig into a topic that's going to have a lot of you triggered, so trigger warning has been enabled. If you are easily triggered, I ask that you leave the video right now, as this will be very distressful, or I should say very stressful for you. Now I'm getting ready to pop a YouTube channel up here on your screen that we're going to be speaking on here today, that's speaking up for the women of Mortal Kombat. Now, the picture you see here on your screen is from a YouTube channel who's run by a woman. It's called Kombat Princess, and she uploads amazing content over there. I'm subscribed, I tune in, so you should be too, so that way you can get your daily dose of the princess. You don't want to miss out. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into today's issue. So she ended up releasing a video basically stating that NRS need to add more women onto the roster, and how NRS just basically, they're not trying hard enough, at least what I got from it, as to how the women look when it comes to the game compared to the men, and basically just overall the lack of women. Now this caused a commotion in the comment section, but I also want to say this fight definitely continues over on Twitter, because it is a massive, when I say a massive discussion going on Twitter. We definitely going to be getting into that too, because the Jade fans are definitely having some of the same issues, which we're going to be touching on, to the point where one of my posters ended up going viral. So I'm gonna pop up the comments here on your screen from her video. We'll dig through them, and then we really going to get into the issue as to what's going on. How about that one? Go through some of the comments. As you can see here by this individual stated that here comes the pick me girls, and because MK1 doesn't have the vapid leotard wearing women in the roster. We go on to the next person who says, hey boo, don't worry about that nerd on here running his mouth. He just hating because he has to use his hand at night. Okay, all right, let's go to the next comment. Now this individual said, laugh out loud serving fish. I love that, girl. I want fish too, because no shade, I don't want a lot of mirror matches with friends. Now, okay, that's understandable. What the hell, I just realized there's only 7 female characters. We need more females. Don't nobody want to play Scorpion or Sirman or some man. You are insane if this is a problem for real. Make your own game or simply shut the up. Now, bitch, don't nobody want to beat on women all day. 6 girls are enough. I can't believe that there is a woman complaining about not being able to dismember enough women on screen. Please stop complaining to be edgy. You are the problem with this world. Now, the next person goes on to say, this bull crap, they're screwing the women. They basically saying why the women getting screwed off. And our last comment from Ariana Dahl said, you took all the words out of my mouth. We need more women in the game. It's not even just that the men have better designs and costumes, their in-game renders are also more aesthetic. The females just look so awkward in terms of facial feature proportions. It's like NRS spent 90% of their resources on the male characters, and whatever energy they had left they put into the females. NRS needs to wake up. And girls are a large and growing fan base. Fingers crossed for some good alts and skins. Also, don't get me wrong, they don't need more skin to look better. They just need more imaginative designs other than copy and paste bodysuits. Now y'all probably wondering, what are my thoughts on this? And I'm about to get in. I'm about to dig in is what I'm about to do. So let me go ahead and flip back over to the other screen, and Future Wave Report is going to take over from there. Majority of the comments from Princess's video were mixed reviews. Some people agreed, some people didn't. I ain't gonna lie, that one comment was funny as shit. Was that one person was like, don't nobody want to beat on women all day. Yo, that's mad funny. That made me wonder, if you don't want to beat on women all day, he said, what'd he say? I don't want to beat on 6 women all day. That makes me wonder, do you beat on women in real life? I don't know why it made me think of that, but it was funny. It was like, you don't want to beat on women all day, as if that's what you already do or whatever it is. That's like me saying, I don't want to eat cereal all day. I want something different. Anyway, But the comment that person made was, I would say, in my opinion, it was very uncalled for. Now, people are allowed to have free speech. Y'all know I'm all for it. I've had people try to silence me before. So this is merely a response. It's not to change anyone's opinion. I'm just here to give my own perspective. So NRS, when it comes to these female characters, can they do a lot better? Yes, they can. Now, I'm going to be speaking from a fan perspective, but then I'm going to speak from a business owner perspective because I know why NRS is doing some of the things that they do. So I'll start with speaking from NRS's perspective. Now, I'm not going to reveal too much of what I do in real life, but I need to give you information to get this point across. So I'll just say this here and be very vague about it. Well, actually, screw it. So basically, I am the CEO of a modeling agency, is what I am, right? And when I'm hiring models, I do tend to go for a particular look. And the reason why I go for a particular look is not a skin color I go for. I go for a particular look because that person needs to be able to bring in revenue, and it needs to be able to represent the majority of what the customers are going to want. So basically, if I hire a model that's obese, she may get bookings, but she may not get as many bookings as a person that's like the size of Tanya. Tanya may get booked by Walmart, she may get booked by Adidas and a whole bunch of other companies, which means the majority would favor that size. So when you're in business, you have to pay attention to the majority. And if you want people to focus on what your underlying meaning is, you have to make sure that it's not distracting in any way, shape, or form. So for example, now, let's say BBLs, right? You know how most girls have BBLs? Well, let me correct myself. You know how some girls have BBLs? Well, would you put a woman that has a BBL in a very serious movie? Let's say you have a movie where you're trying to tell a story and you want people to focus on the story, but yet the movie is trending because of the girl's BBL. You don't want that to happen. You don't want anything to take away from your message. So what NRS, what at least I think they're doing here, is they're downplaying the female's appearance because they want people to focus on the actual game and not focus on the over-sexualization of women or whatever the case is. Now, I look at it this way. The only thing I care about is them adding a fair amount of women into the game. That's all I care about. I don't care about the clothes too much or whatever the case is. It does not bother me at all. Now, a lot of people would agree different because they like to see different things. I'm not interested in seeing some polygons. That's not what I'm interested in. I see women every single day when I'm at work, and it's just like, it does not bother me at all. But to stay on topic here, I just want to bring to your attention and let you know that this is a heavy topic within the community. And I also want to say, I hope I did not offend anybody with my example. I'm just merely explaining how business works. And I'll give you a better example so you can understand why I used BBL, why I used obese, and why companies like mine decide to go with a slender build. I'll say this here. When you go to Walmart or you go to damn near any store in America, you notice there's not that many handicap parking spots, right? It's not that many handicap parking spots. You want to know why? Because the majority of people are not handicapped. So you have to cater to the majority. The majority is what's important at the end of the day. That's not to say that the minority is not important. I'm not saying that at all. But when you're handling business, you got to cater to the majority. Now, when I say majority, they're selling this game to kids. This game is under a microscopic lens. WB has their own agenda that they're pushing, and they're kind of like, hey, we want you to clean those games up, you know, downsize the portions. We don't need no big old biddies walking around. We don't need no thickianas in the game or anything like that. I would love to see them really change and add some things to the game. For example, I told you guys I would love to see Madam Bo become a part of the DLC pack because I think women should be represented, and we should get an old woman in the game if we can get old Shang Tsung in the game. Now, we do have Chronica, but Chronica is nowhere near a certain type of attraction that we're used to in our opinion, you know? she does these bald-headed. She don't have any hair. And that's not to say bald-headed women aren't pretty. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying NRS is going more of a cosmic being direction, is the direction that they're taking. But is there a disconnect between NRS or the fighting game community when it comes to women? Yes, I am not arguing that at all. There's definitely a disconnect. Now, I cannot tell them how to handle it or what to do. At the end of the day, I'm just a freaking, I'm just me at the end of the day. So again, I'm not looking to offend anybody. I understand all points of the entire argument. Should, you know, BBL people be included? Should obese people be included in video games? Yes, they should. Like, if you look at, I think, is it Street Fighter or Tekken? One of you guys can correct me in the comment section below. But one of them games have a big character in it, and his name is Bob. And Bob is a fat dude, but he's extremely fast. And the representation for fat dudes in that game is just super dope. Now, I don't mean to call fat people fat in 2023, but there's no other way to describe it, because the definition of fat is when you're overly obese for your age. And it's different for everybody, is what I'm saying in so many words. Listen, I'm trying not to get canceled here. It's 2023. I'm heading in the right direction, but I wanted to speak on this topic here, so y'all got to cut me some slack across the board. I'm not selling out. I'm actually being real and genuine with you guys. So when it comes to Kombat Princess and the video that she made, and her being a female herself and just being able to speak up on everything that's going on, I don't have an issue with it, and I think more people should voice their opinion. Now, another reason why people are extremely upset to a degree is because some people, they don't want to see a crap ton of women in the game. They don't. And for whatever reason, I don't understand. Now, I do think there should be an equal amount of women. There should be an equal amount of women in the game. Like, if you're gonna have 25 males, you need to have 25 women, which would be ridiculous, but at least it would be an even roster. And if you're not gonna do 25 males, 25 women, then you need to do 15 women and 15 men, or whatever the case is. You got 15, 20, 25, 30. That's a whole roster of 30 characters if my math is correct. And you can still have your 30 character roster and you're good. For example, the Mortal Kombat roster right now, it has approximately 24 characters. So far it has 24 characters from what I'm saying. You can do at least 12 apiece. You can do 12 men and you can do 12 women is what you can do, and that would solve the problem across the board. So there are different avenues that they can take, but it's up to them to decide if they are going to do those things, straight up. And hopefully they do decide to do something, because the men, even though the men are covered up in this game compared to Mortal Kombat 11, which Princess pointed out, it's just more so of, like, let's say, they outfits look better. They look bland, but they look better compared to what the women have. Now, I don't have a problem with what with what Tanya has on. I actually like Tanya's outfit. She got the whole Wakanda thing going on. She got the golden royalty. At least that's what I see when I look at her. I see royalty. So I don't have a problem with it. The way Li Mei looks like she's fresh out of a Chinese action movie. That's what she looks like. You know, and Sindel, she looks like she's out of the 80s, especially with the big hair and everything. So I think the costumes are fine, but having some modern costumes would definitely be dope. The only way I would say that they could fix this problem also is by having us be able to change the clothes, like have us go to the MK shop to buy some new clothes for Tanya. Maybe slap Tanya in a crop top and some jeans. Maybe slap her in her outfit that she already have on. Let us change the weapons, kind of how they did with Mortal Kombat 11. They were heading in the right direction, but we don't even know if a gear system is going to be in this game or whatever. So that's something we're going to have to wait and we're going to have to figure out. Now, I was going to touch on the Jade situation in this video, but I simply do not have the time to do so because I got to get ready for work. So I'm going to save that for an entirely different video. But the women are going crazy online. They're speaking up for themselves in a great way. And that's just what it is. I really don't know what to say going past this part, other than the fact that I agree there needs to be some type of middle ground. You know, in order to get a little peace, you got to start a little war. So my advice to you, Princess, if people is hating in the comment section, Let them hate, because haters is gonna hate, and we all need to, step up and fight for what we believe in. Most people would say, it's just a game, it's just a game. No, it's about representation, because if you don't speak up and you don't have yourself represented, you will then become one of the forgottens. Simple as that. And we've came a long way, but we still got a longer way to go. And this is just not in the fighting game community. This is also with wrestling. For example, if you watch AEW, you watch WWE, they're having problems with their women division because the men get more TV time than the women do. And this is in every industry. Same thing with NBA. I guarantee that you can name 5 male NBA players right off the top of your head. For example, Michael Jordan, you got Dwayne Wade, you got Allen Iverson, you got Kobe Bryant, you got Magic Johnson. See how easy it was to name those basketball players? Now I'm going to try and name 5 female basketball players. The only one that I know of is, what is her name? Reeves. Her last name is Reeves. And I only know her because she was in Big Lotto's music video, Put It On The Floor remix. That's all I know. Simple as that. I can't even remember her first name, but I know her name is Reeves. I know who she is when I see her. But to be honest with you, we not out here watching women basketball. We just not doing that. But you know why we're not doing that? It's because it's not promoted. It's like out of mind, out of sight. If they promoted female basketball as much as they promoted males basketball, then it would be different. However, there is some accountability that needs to be had on the women's end, because in order for women's basketball, women's sport, or women's fighting game community to grow, the women need to speak up and make as much noise as possible until they're heard. Because if all of the women in the world that loves WNBA, they should be online crying about it and voicing their opinion so they can get more attention or bring more attention to the product. But guess what? Women would rather go to the men's NBA because they want to marry them a ball player. And that's nothing wrong with that. I'm not cracking on that at all. I'm just basically pointing out the differences between things. So my ending statement is, I do agree with the princess, is that you should speak up. You have to be vocal, and if you want some things to change, change starts in the mirror. Change starts in 2023 by hitting that record button and uploading it to YouTube. We are now more powerful as a civilization than we have ever been in our entire existence. You merely watching this video, me being able to reach you guys all around the world as if I was a radio broadcast beaconing system, which I am at this point. It's fantastic across the board. Look how many views this video got. This video has reached hundreds of people, if not thousands, who received this message across the board. That's how powerful we are. So if you're watching this video and you agree with anything I said or anything the princess said, then we need you to do 2 things. Subscribe to my channel, subscribe to their channel, and then right after you do those, create your own YouTube channel and upload your thoughts on the fighting game community when it comes to the inclusion of women. Now, other fighting games, women look pretty good. They look fantastic. They're fun. They look good. It's a fantasy. It's a video game. Everything does not have to be realistic all day, every day, all the time. It doesn't have to be like that. But if that's the route NRS wants to take, then they need to give us some ground. Anyway, shout out to Grand Theft Auto 6, because Grand Theft Auto 6 is including the first female protagonist, which is going to be dope, and we're going to be able to see how different things are. The men in Grand Theft Auto are allowed to pick up hookers and have, with them for a certain amount of fee. Will the women be able to do the same thing? So it's all about inclusion and equal rights is what it is, and hopefully we're going to be able to see some of these equal rights in video games, because women are no less than men. We're all equal to a degree. At the end of the day, when I say to a degree, I'm not going to ignore the differences between strength and intelligence, because I honestly think women cook better than men. I think women are way smarter than men. I also think women are way better than men. That's not to say, when I say women are way better than men, I'm referring to them being better with money than men. And that's not to say most men aren't good with their money, because I'm good with my money. I'm a cheap ass. I got money, but I'm a cheap ass motherfucker. I will go find a deal before I do anything else. So again, I want to pass this question off to you guys in the comment section below. How do you feel about this video? How did it make you feel? Did you really get triggered? Do you understand? And again, Did I offend you? If I offended you, if the princess has offended you, sound off in the comments. And if I offended you personally, I'm sorry. I'm doing the best that I can to be as mutual as possible without taking away from the situation, but still being able to address a very serious topic. That's all. But anyway, go on and smash that subscribe button and turn on post notifications, as this is your brand new favorite and exclusive place for daily Mortal Kombat content. With that being said, thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.
About to go to frames. We outside in public, baby, please pull up your prints. If they say it's up, then we ain't even shaking hands. Pull up with a beef and now they wanna change the plans. Reason why they running, cause we shooting at they mans, yeah. Hey, and it's all part of the plan. Why she keep on calling, cause she know I'm high demand. So in love with me, I got her on command. She sucked me inside the coupe, I say, and I'm your biggest fan. Yo, she pull up whenever I land. I made it to the top, bro, you can see I'm living grand. I'm in Cali with some bitches on the beach, me bring a sand. Keep that 30 on the seat and shoot like Curry with the left hand.